but I'm just going to start your reading right now for Leo. So the first card you have for your past is the Eight of Swords, yes. Yeah, obviously this is the card of being stuck, being a bit lost, not knowing which way to go. I think this is about either a relationship that you're in or a love connection. It's something like that. I am seeing someone desperately wanting to connect with you, wanting to come close to you. I think they probably were at one time, and then there was something coming between you and this person. I think it actually might have been someone or a group of people. I think someone was trying to influence this person. I don't think, yes, some people were in the way, I think. Some people were in the way. They were kind of getting in the way, trying to come between you. I don't know. I think this actually might have been, maybe this was their family, I think. And I don't think they were saying anything to you directly. I think they were just kind of saying these little tiny things, little comments, all of that kind of thing. You heard some of these comments, I think, if this is resonating with you. They also did as well. Some of the comments you didn't hear, some of these comments were in their ear, that kind of thing. So, and you knew all of this. This was really getting to you. I'm really feeling this. So it's like, you are feeling stuck because I think, if this is all resonating with you, this is what I'm seeing. You wanted to say something to these people if they are this person's family. But you felt as if you kind of couldn't do that because it was this person's family. They weren't your family. It was kind of like, oh, it's not my place to do this. It's their place to do that. They have to stand up for me. They have to say something. And they felt like, oh, I'm caught in the middle. I'm in a sandwich. I'm in between this person, who I love, and this person, these other people who I love, this family. And so it was kind of very, very tough for them. And I know that you might have, well, I don't know, but what I'm seeing here is that you might have felt like they were a little bit weaker than you wanted them to be. They should have been standing up for you a lot more than they were. They felt very, very emotional. There's a lot of water in front of this person. Very emotional, very, very, very stuck. They couldn't go back to their family. They'd feel disloyal to you. They couldn't just go to you. They'd feel disloyal to them. That's kind of how they were feeling. And I think you felt like you were the strong one and they were the weak one because they weren't standing up for you. But it was a very, very difficult situation for them. And I don't think you were seeing how difficult it was for them. I'm not saying they're totally perfect and they should just say nothing and let people get away with saying these horrible, nasty remarks. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they couldn't really understand how frustrating and upsetting this was for you. And you couldn't see how upsetting it was for them and how their loyalties were really being stretched from one to the other and they kind of didn't know where they were, so they were stuck and they couldn't really do anything. That's what I'm seeing in that card. I know this is a very, very specific situation. Did I say Pacific? I think I was supposed to say specific. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing in that card. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have your past is the Queen of Wands. Yeah, so here we are again. This queen, she's a super, super strong woman. She's the strongest queen. I love this queen. That's why I love her. She's kind of very opinionated. She's extremely strong. She knows where she's going. She's kind of very forward thinking. That might have been one of the reasons why these people were a little bit against you, against this connection between you and this person. And also, I think the reason why, not the reason why, but you are very strong, and you still are, you're a strong person. And I think that's why this whole thing was frustrating you so much, because you were strong and you couldn't see why they couldn't be strong. So there's that as well. You are a positive person. I can see that with these beautiful sunflowers. And you're also a very, very go-getting person. You know what you want. You don't let anyone get in the way. But this was all getting in the way of what you wanted. You just wanted respect from their family, if this is their family. Respect from them. You wanted someone to stand up for you. and you wanted to just be yourself without being criticized. That's what I'm seeing there, and it wasn't really happening in that way. So yeah, I'm really feeling the frustration around this, and the kind of stuckness around this as well, because you're a mover, you want to move forward. Because you're like the Queen of Wands, and you couldn't move forward in this situation. So it was very, very, very frustrating, and frustrating for them as well in a completely different way. It was kind of like, at a stalemate in chess where no one can go anywhere, no one wins, no one can move. It's that kind of situation. So yeah, the last card you have for your past is the Emperor. So, I think this was stressing you so much, and you were trying to move forward, you were trying to come to some kind of resolution with this. And I think you got to the point where you just couldn't do anything about it. You had to concentrate on your work. You had to concentrate on everything else you had to do in your life. And so I think you just put this to one side in your mind, or you try to kind of get on with the rest of your life, because the Emperor is all about, no emotion. Let's be strong. Let's just get on with things. Let's move forward. And you had to do that. You just couldn't afford to sit around dwelling on this anymore. You just had to push forward. So I don't think, you didn't totally abandon this person. You didn't totally abandon this situation. I think you really did have to shut off emotionally for a while, just so that you could get your sanity back, really. And this is also showing me, because the Emperor can be quite a controlling man, so this is also showing me that these people that were trying to influence this love connection that you had might have been trying to, or they might have been a very controlling group of people, or someone in that group was very controlling. And if they are family and this person has been brought up with this controlling person, that might be a big reason why they found it very, very difficult to stand up to that person. That's another thing I'm seeing in that card. So the first card you have your present is the Eight of Cups. Yes. So yeah, again, this is showing me you're just turning away from this whole thing, not forever, and you're not physically walking away. I really think you really do love and care for this person. That's what I'm seeing, and that's why it's so frustrating. I mean, you wouldn't put up with all of this if you didn't care about them. You just walk off, but you didn't want to do that because you really did care about them. And but at this time, again, like I was seeing in the Emperor, you just wanted to move away mentally. You just wanted a mental break from this whole thing. It was just exhausting you. And I think when you come back, you will come back to all of this, and you haven't left them. But I think when you come back and try and sort this all out again at some time in the future, you're going to be saying, I'll come back to this, but something has to change. I'm not going to come back to the way it was. If I come back to this whole thing, I am not going to come back to feeling unhappy, feeling like I was. I'm just looking at the moon in this card. Look at how unhappy this moon is. So you're not going to come back to that. You're just not. You're determined. So you are going to come back to this again. You are going to face this again, but it might be some kind of an ultimatum. You might say, no, I'm not going to be unhappy. That's what I'm seeing there. Again, I know this is very, very specific. This is what I'm picking up here. So the next card you have for your present is, the Three of Swords. Wow, this is a very, very emotional reading. And again, I'm seeing this situation. So, obviously this is the heartbreak card. And I'm actually seeing, this is how they're feeling in this. They're still feeling like this person who you're connected to, this love connection. Their heart's really divided up into these three sections. There's you on one side, the family or whoever these controlling people are on the other side, and they're kind of stuck in the middle, like the middle sword, and they don't know, each side they look, one's against the other, and they're kind of stuck in the middle. So it's a similar kind of thing again, and they can't really see the end to this. And also I think they might be a very sensitive person. So you're a very strong person. I think you might even be, don't be angry with me, but you might be seeing things from your perspective, and you might be expecting them to act the way that you would in this, and they're not you, they're them. So I think maybe you might have to try to be a little bit more patient with them, a little bit more sensitive with them. If this is when you decide to start working through this whole thing again. Because I think, if you're kind, instead of being frustrated with them, you might just win them over in that way. They might come around to your way of thinking with kindness. Because I think at the moment they're stuck between these two swords, these two angry, bad things, these negative things. And if one of the sides is positive and the other side is negative, I think they'll come toward the more positive. We all naturally gravitate toward the more positive side. So again, if you really care about this person, I think, and you do things like talk about more positive things. Don't even talk about this at all, maybe. Talk about, fun things, positive things, and talk about things you used to do before all this happened, the fun things you used to do. Get them thinking about all of that kind of thing. It sounds like I'm being manipulative, and I don't mean to do that. It's just that, I think they will eventually gravitate toward the positive if you're very sensitive and kind toward them. And if these other people keep on being negative and you're positive, I think we all gravitate toward the positive. So, and also they need a break from one of these sides. They're very sensitive to all of this. So I think, keep that in mind as well, if this is all resonating. So the last card you have for your present is, the Sun. So yeah, positivity. Again, be more positive with this person, be more sensitive, be more kind, all of those good things. If you do love, care about them, and you do want them on your side eventually, that's what I'm seeing. And I'm not being manipulative. I'm not trying to be at all. I'm just looking at this from this person's perspective. They're sick of this negativity. They're trying to escape. They can't. They feel stuck. And if you're their escape, if you're their positive escape, that's going to be good for them. They're going to feel happier, better, and you're going to feel better because they're going to come back toward you. That's what I'm seeing. So, and I do think that, the Sun can also be about a breakthrough. So I do think if you look at this in this positive way, and you do something like I'm saying, I don't want to tell you what to do, but if you do think of it in that way, I think you will eventually have a breakthrough with that. That's what I'm seeing, because I really do think you both do want to be together. You do really care about each other. I know this sounds like a counselling session. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I am seeing that. I am seeing a lot of love there on both sides that's really there. And I think that's what's going to bring you back together again. The fact that you both do really, really want this. If this is resonating with you. So yeah, the first card you have for your future is Justice. Right, I'm seeing something quite interesting here. This is something very different. I haven't seen this before in any reading ever. And this is another very specific thing. Because the Justice card can be about balance, getting things back into balance where they're unbalanced. It can be about karma as well, in the right sense of the word, wrongs being righted, all of that kind of thing. I'm actually seeing a material thing in this, a material item, an actual item. And I think it's not something that has a lot of material value. It has a lot of sentimental value, this particular thing. Now, I think this might be something that you thought you'd never see. This is something that you might have hoped that you would see, that you would have, but then you might have given up on hope, or given up hope of having this thing in your hands. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing it I'm actually seeing it literally in your hands, this thing. And I'm seeing, you resigned yourself. You said, I'm never going to see this. I'd love to have this thing. I'd love to see this thing again. This reminds me of my childhood. That's what I'm seeing. I'd love to see this thing again, but I don't think I will ever see this thing again. And I'm trying to explain this properly because it's very unusual. This thing means a lot to you. Again, it has a lot of sentimental value to you. I think it belonged to someone who was very, very, very close to you. This person held you in their arms. It's very emotional. It's beautiful. This person held you in their arms. they're not here anymore. You remember this item, and it's very emotional, and you didn't think you were going to hold it in your hands, and now you are. It's going to come back to you. It's going to come back to the person who deserves it, and that is you, the right person. That's the karma. It's coming back to you. It has great, great, great sentimental value to you. I hope that makes sense to you, or to the right person. I really hope the right person hears this. So yeah, the next card you have, your future, is the Five of Swords. So yeah, again, I know the Five of Swords can be about, taking things away and all sorts of nasty things. I'm not quite seeing that here. I am seeing again, these two men are walking away, they're surrendering. So you did surrender to this. You did think, I'm not going to have this. I'm never going to have this ever again. Whatever, someone else does. I still have the memories of that person I love, the person that held me. I don't need the thing. I'd love to see it again, but I'm not going to see it again. So I'm just going to resign myself to the fact that I'm not going to see this again. Now, it wasn't taken from you, it wasn't stolen from you. You might take that from that card, but I'm seeing the resignation of that. But I do see that whoever had this, whoever ended up with this, had this thing, and they didn't say anything about it. They should have said something. They should have said to you, I know this means a lot to you. Would you like to have this thing? But they didn't say that. That's what I'm seeing. They were quiet about this. Now, I don't know how this is going to happen. This is going to be in the right hands. It was in the wrong hands, and it's going to be in the right hands, and that's with you. Again, I don't know who this is for. I know this is very specific. I'm sorry if this doesn't resonate with you. I'm just saying what I'm seeing. I hope this message gets to the right person, because it actually made me feel very emotional. I was feeling that very strongly, that this person held you in their arms, in their hands, and they had this thing in their hands, and you used to remember this particular thing, and it's going to be in your hands. I'm just saying that again because I'm feeling that very, very, very strongly. So the last card you have for your future is the Queen of Pentacles. So yeah, look at that. Look at this. This woman, this queen, is holding this coin in her lap, in her hands, like it's a baby. She absolutely loves it. She feels very sentimental, very loving toward this thing. So here this is again, it's going to be in the right hands. And you are going to take care of this thing. You are going to nurture this thing as if it's your child almost. You have these memories around this, positive memories, and that's why you're going to take beautiful care of this. I think it might have belonged to a female relative, maybe. That's what I'm seeing now. I just saw that. Now, I think the other thing that's going to happen here is, if this is resonating, if you receive this thing, which I think you will, I'm seeing that you are going to receive this, it's going to open your heart and open your mind to receiving more things and material things. You're going to have money coming to you. I'm not sure how it is going to come to you. It might come alongside this thing. This might be some kind of inheritance kind of thing where you're finally getting something that was owed to you. It might be something else. It might come to you in some other way. I'm also seeing another kind of gift coming to you. Now, I'm seeing when this other gift comes to you, you might be tempted to say, no, I don't want this. Because I think some gifts came to you in the past and there were strings attached to them and you didn't want the strings attached. I can totally understand that. This will not have strings attached. So if this other gift comes to you, it's going to be very generous. Please say yes. There are no strings attached to that. And once you open your mind to this coming to you, and you open your mind to this gift coming to you, and you open your mind to all of these abundance, all these things that are coming to you out of love, they're coming out of love to you, that's going to open your heart and your mind to any new gifts, any new things, any new prosperity that's going to come to you. Please open your mind, please open your heart. Don't say no to any gifts. They're going to come to you, and that's going to open yourself up to all these new beautiful things that are going to come your way as well. I really hope that does resonate with you. I know that might only resonate with a few people, especially this material thing I was seeing you holding on to, but I so hope it does resonate with you, and I hope it reaches the right person. So Leo,